Welcome back to Why It Matters podcast, where I talk on anything news related, whether that's Hollywood news, anything going on around the world, political news, and just give my unbiased, honest opinion on things. But before we get into today's topic, I wanted to ask to leave a like and maybe subscribe if you want to stay up to date on more videos and more topics like this, just to give an honest opinion of someone who just does this day to day. But now let's just get back into the topic. And the topic today I want to talk about is my just personal gripe with a lot of movies and TV shows today. Excuse me. A lot of TV shows today and movies becoming very hyper sexualized. And just that general field. I don't enjoy it. I am a Christian. I don't like watching things with nudity and sex scenes and all of that. I feel like I'm also a very big just film fanatic. I love cinematography. I love watching all the behind the scenes. I'm addicted to the craft of film, whether that's just films or TV shows, anything of the sort. I love, and I'm a big just enthusiast of it. I don't find a need for that stuff. I rarely ever see a show or a movie pull off where a relationship goes that far that there's a need to show all of that and to do all of that and convey something on screen. Especially today. I find most of the time just simply an implication and a fade to black and just one of them waking up and getting up to brush their teeth or something. You get just as much of the implications and you can clearly build upon that just as much as you would of actually showing it. And I feel like showing it is just a visual stimulation thing that they do to just grab as many people into the theater as possible. Let's get these two very attractive people that are very popular in the public eye, and let's do something a little more edgy on screen to get some headlines and get some people to go watch that. And that's not what cinema's about. I don't think that that's what movies, TV shows, anything that's put in front of a camera is about. I really don't. One of my all-time favorite directors, a hero of mine, was one of the first directors his name was George Méliès, and he made a lot of very old films. The guy was a genius though. He made one of the old films. His character was actually one of the main characters in what was a book adaptation called Hugo. Many of you might have seen it. It was a great film. I recommend either reading the book, The Invention of Hugo Cabret, or just watching the movie Hugo. Phenomenal film. A lot of it is taken from his actual history of the real man. And George was a visionary. He thought outside of the box. He made a movie of people getting shot from a giant cannon to the moon and then fighting alien people on the moon and trying to find a way to drop themselves back down to earth. It was very just corny and weird, and it's a product of the time, yes. But when that film came out was before the Wright brothers made the first working plane. When people were saying that someone couldn't fly, we were not going to fly like birds in the sky, George was thinking of going to the moon. He was thinking of traveling to space and back. He made films about going to the depths of the oceans and finding secret things that we didn't know might have been real civilizations that died out. And he made movies about just different sci-fis and just his imagination was like a child all throughout his years. And his life had a lot of ups and downs, a lot of sad moments, a lot of good moments, but he used cinema as a way to push the boundaries of what people could think, what people wanted to achieve in life, what we could accomplish together with hope and love, and just when we come together as people, we can accomplish things that people would always hate us for and say that's never going to be true. That's cinema. Cinema is pushing the boundaries of your vision, and changing things and making creative stories that are beloved throughout the ages. creating just massive visual just spectacles and even just grounded stories that are slices of life that people can relate to and cry to and laugh to. And when you think of all of those sort of aspects and you're put into that position, and then you get thrown into, hey, there's also 3 sex scenes. Hey, you're on a cool sci-fi TV show that really changes the dynamic of what you would think a time travel sci-fi show would be or something. But by the way, every episode has a 2-minute sex scene. It's just jarring. What does that add? What does that build upon? What does that, you can easily convey a relationship and the bond to people, and the create a connection with the audience without having them take off their clothes. It's just a fact. Many movies have done it. Yet I can't go on Netflix and start a new show without something popping up every 2 seconds. I can't go on Hulu without even shows that are saying, oh, they're good for teens and they're good for some young kids and things like that, without something popping up. I just can't. I could barely go to the theaters without something popping up, but at least theaters have more regulations on those sort of things, so it's easier to find. But with TV shows, it's kind of like, especially on streaming services, they get to pretty much choose. They have ratings, of course, but it's more loosey-goosey, it almost seems. And I feel like we're losing the touch of what cinema was about. We're throwing in so much uselessness that you're losing the audience, you're losing the grasp of what you're trying to convey, just to be as edgy and to show people we're adult. This is an adult show. This has this, and this. This could have as much as you would like of this, and it's too much. Where's just the fun spectacle of bringing both kids and adults alike back into creativity and having an awe sense of wonder? I don't see that much these days. I see a lot of corporate movies just pumping out movies for money, and you could tell on screen. I see a lot of TV shows that are just throwing everything onto the wall and seeing what sticks. And I don't see a lot of people talking about it, which is just kind of sad. The only film craft that I feel is staying true to and is built upon and everything is stop motion of sorts. Coraline, Paranorman, Corpse Bride, Nightmare Before Christmas. Stop motion films have stayed true to just the wow factor of stop motion, the creativity that goes into it, the commitment of every person that has worked on those films. And I just feel like we've lost a lot of that spark of what cinema was made for. We lost a lot of that meaning. And now the meaning is just whip it out, corporate, see what people like and what they dislike, throw it at them, who cares? Some people will come and watch it because they like the attractiveness of an actress or an actor. I think that's wrong, and I think it's hurting the vision of cinema. And that's where I'll leave it.